Hi, everybody. This is March 1st, 2024, and it's been 536 days since Lars, my brother's group home, terminated his visits with me. I'm his only in-person visitor that lives locally. We grew up together. He's 2.5 years younger than me. And so I've been allowed 2 1-hour visits in 536 days. Susanna O'Sullivan wrote, I've asked you guys to copy and paste the email that I'll put in the description box for this video. And I got an email from my MLA, so my provincial member of the legislature, Selena Robinson's office, asking to know more about this case. And I was somewhat disheartened because they set out the reasons why they couldn't, if they couldn't become involved. So they said, well, unless you are the committee or the guardian of your brother, we can't become involved. And I forget what the other reason was. And if this is to people in government or in positions of power, when someone tries to convey a complaint about the treatment of a vulnerable person who's in your jurisdiction, don't come up with all the reasons why it shouldn't apply to you. I am the adult survivor of child sex abuse, and my whole life I've been hearing all the reasons why people in positions of authority cannot assist me. And when Susanna O'Sullivan wrote Selena Robinson and said, there's a woman, a disabled woman, who's complaining because she hasn't been allowed to visit her brother for 500 and however many days. The first thing that the person on the receiving end of that email should do is pick up the phone and speak with someone. Paper insulates. I learned this from practicing law for 25 years. There's a saying among lawyers, paper insulates. You only send a letter if you want to put some space between yourself and the other person with whom you're trying to communicate, and to leave a record that you made some attempt to communicate with them. If you actually want to communicate, people don't write their letters to 911. They don't send emails or texts to 911. They pick up the phone and speak, or they flag down a police officer that's going by. So I was disappointed to get this email purporting to help from my member of the legislature, who literally, her office is around the corner from my apartment here. And I've been there. I gave up basically 2 years ago, trying to approach her. They never responded, or she said she wasn't able to help because the matter was before the courts. And that's the other thing, is that people in positions of power, people who are government, in government and positions of power, I can tell you, the one thing I can say as a former lawyer is that is not an excuse. That something is before the court is not an excuse for you not to do your job. You must always do your job unless a judge specifically tells you or excludes you or gives you permission not to do your job. You have to provide information to the people that need that information, and you have to still do your job. So the fact that somebody sues you doesn't mean all of a sudden a member of parliament or a member of the legislature is absolved from having to responsibility for the constituents. So I miss my brother terribly. I'm right at this moment. So if you're wanting to know what the status of my complaint is, that my sister's lawyer, Vancouver lawyer, said that I could have supervised visits. And 2 months ago, almost 3 months ago, they had an access supervisor call me and say, oh, I have an hour available for an intake interview. I don't want an intake interview. I want to visit with my brother. You know, I told them in writing every single day since he made the offer on September 21st of 2023 that yes, I agree to supervision. I don't agree to be interviewed by an access supervisor of whose qualifications I don't know. I borrowed $32,455 to retain two board certified psychiatrists who practice in British Columbia to interview my brother about whether it's in his best interest to be isolated and confined from me. And I am not willing to have an open-ended conversation with some access supervisor. And these people, they have basically they're breathing and they don't have a criminal record. That's the qualifications you need. But anyways, so I have told him I'm available, and now he says that he's not available. They have nobody until the 3rd week of March. So this is, you know, more stalling tactics on my sister's part. Anyways, so please continue to pray for us. That we're in Lent. I believe Easter is on March 31st. So we're in the middle of Lent. Go to your synagogue, your gurdwara, your temple, your church, and pray for us. Never underestimate the power of prayer. Pray for us right where you're sitting. Copy and paste the email that I'll put in the description box for this video and send it off to the people in authority who could, with one phone call, could restore my brother's visits with me. Right after I make this video, I'm going to head out to the government office, as I do every day, and drop off a letter asking to visit with my brother. So send off the email and please contribute to our GoFundMe account. I'm down to my last $100 period for me. I have, as I said, I've spent all of my discretionary income for the last 2 years, and I have borrowed $32,455 for Money Mart to pay for legal expenses in this case. So we're not at the finish line yet, and we need help to make it over the finish line. So please contribute to our GoFundMe account, whatever you can. And let me know if you've done any of those things, if you've prayed for us, if you've contributed to our GoFundMe account, or if you have sent off the email. And again, thank you so much, Susanna O'Sullivan. Thank you, Jessica Vanderveen, Paul Fraser, Sue Morley, and all my other supporters in this long, arduous battle for the rights of myself and my brother. Oh, I forgot to mention, so we're waiting to hear from the Court of Appeal on my appeal of the decision appointing my 81-year-old nun sister 4,000 kilometers away in Ontario as the guardian of my disabled brother here in BC. So we're waiting for that decision. And also I'm waiting for a hearing date from the British Columbia Human Rights Tribunal. Everything else has been done. We just need a hearing date. So thank you very much, everybody. Remember, pray for us, contribute to our GoFundMe account, and copy and paste the email and send it from your email address. Every email represents 100,000 voters in the minds of these political and government decision makers. Paul, I miss you so much. I'm moving heaven and earth, dear. I'm doing everything I can think of to visit you again. I hope you're doing okay. I'll call you today at 4:30 and we can sing some songs like You Are My Sunshine. You are my sunshine, dear.